Stops. NASA, just in the blasted max, not it's a NASA. Would that tell them no difference? Go within and rise, you got to the surface and realize man a creator. And this are just a better days. Me nah go stop playing this trust till me start to better days. Lately, just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh. I artist and the seeds for motivate me. Please persist for right music where elevate me. Let's work as one and encourage each other daily. Mm. Music can make it away. Love the music, express myself when I feel away. Yeah.
Oops. I gotta share this link, guys.
I'm talking daily. It's on my mind, this is just crazy. I've been feeling passionate lately. Just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I artist and the seeds for motivate me. Please persist for right music where elevate me. Let's work
Hello, everybody. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, girl live. All right, so I'm just sharing, guys, my first time coming live on this channel. Just reality TV with your number one sensible specialist, Royal Cleopatra. Listen, tonight topic, hot topic, hot topic, hot topic. Want to not talk up the things because listen, studies have been done and they have results, and we now have the Mari here tonight, but we're gonna see what is the result. You understand what kind of result we're talking about? DNA result. Westcut our jacket, fit or not fit. That's what we're gonna talk about tonight. So I'm just sharing this. It's the first time, so I'm getting people to get used to, get accustomed and acclimatized to this channel. The realists, all my realists, please share. Please invite, please like, please subscribe. In the meantime, if you've not yet hit that red button that says SUBSCRIBE, that is subscribe, hit that. But tell you what, hitting subscribe alone won't do it, because when I go live or I upload the videos weekly, especially on a Wednesday, you won't be notified. So if you want to stay in the loop and stay abreast of the exclusives, the hot topics, the issues, real lifestyle, about God, humor, everything, there's a bell. There is a bell. I want you, after you subscribe, to hit that bell, and you have the option to choose all. ALL, after hitting that bell, ALL, all. So that once the nice things them drop over here, you get that bing, that notification on your phone, your tablet, whatever. All right, your computer. So please, guys, my first time coming live, and this is just warm up. This is just warm up. Trust me, it'll get nice. Hold on. I am sharing. So while I am sharing, please share with me. Please share with me. Please share with me. I'm sharing, to let people know about us, because that's the only way people are going to know about us, is if we share. Hi. Hello. Minalva, go on. Listen, we're gonna be ourselves over here. Listen, guys, you're all my realists. So over here, so on our realists, all the realists. You understand what I'm saying? You are a realist, because when we touch some topics, when normally those topics are topics where they may be a little bit sensitive, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but are real life situations we go through every day. And if I don't go through it, you go through it. And if you go through it, sometimes I go through it. So the whole of we go through it. You understand? Like, for example, you ever poop in front of your man yet, your husband? All them look at something there. You understand what I'm saying? You ever ask your husband for buy pad for you and all them look at something there? Real life issues. That's what we're gonna talk about over here. So it's lifestyle, health, wealth. We'll talk a little bit about God. You understand? And humor. We're just gonna be ourselves, let our ears down, and be real, authentic, undiluted, raw. Adjust reality. What me say? Adjust reality. Chat board. And that you have said to. So here we go on now. I am sharing. One more share. Please bear with me. Please share. And I want you guys to participate, because that's how YouTube will send out this video. So, like, we have to make the thing hot, like blaze it up, so YouTube can send it out, so people can find us, those who don't know about us. But like how you know about us, share, invite people, tell them, come on over, rock and come in. It have a nice. Listen, let me just share this real quick, guys, and then we'll get right into the nitty-gritty of it. We're gonna start with a bang. Listen, we're just gonna be ourselves. So it's okay if we make a little mistake here and there and we fumble and tumble, but we're gonna get right back up. So I'm just sharing this on Facebook. While you do the same, share on your WhatsApp, share in your message. All right. Where is the thing? Come on, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Facebook didn't post it. Facebook them ignorant to see, and them bad mind to see. Them not like for post. When they post anything about YouTube, them not like for push it out there either. But me and them. All right. Oh, see it right here. So I find it. Okay. Here we go. One more share. Coming on already. Now ready. I'm ready too. So listen, over here. So I won't be doing much speaky spooky, because And a Miss Uptown time, a Delcita time, Royal Cleopatra time, number one sensible specialist time where we're going to be real. And sometimes when we'll be real, when we speak is spooky, people tend not to get it. But when we come down to earth, especially for the Caribbean people, because I realize that my mass audience comes from the Caribbean, so I have to relate to them so them can understand me. And more time you're getting on Miss Lou dialect, that them want. So you understand how the thing go. All right. So one more time, one more share, one more share, one more share, one more share, one more share. All right, guys. So more, because the thing is that I'm gonna be using my phone. I need to get another phone. All right, here we go. Here we go. I will just leave a while ago. No, come back, man. Ciao. Come right back. All right, so I'm gonna play one song. Let me see. All right.
Yeah, pull up on the new chill spot, Saturday Night Live with your number one sensible specialist. Chat about, and that's you say. What you say? Meet her up there, live with Royal Cleopatra. She'll chat about a whole lot of things. Yeah, health, wealth, lifestyle. Yeah, man. She'll put you in a sense of humor night and talk about the Almighty God. Meet her up here, Royal Cleopatra, Saturday Night Live. Come. Jane Doonan, Sharon, them say that them love it. That's what they say, yeah. Saturday Night Live, Royal Cleopatra. It's right here.
All right.
Yeah, pull up on the new chill spot, Saturday Night Live with your number one sensible specialist. Chat about, and that's you say. What you say? Meet her up there, live with Royal Cleopatra. She'll chat about a whole lot of things. Yeah, health, wealth, lifestyle. Yeah, man. She'll put you in a sense of humor night and talk about the Almighty God. Meet her up there, Royal Cleopatra, Saturday Night Live. Come. Jane, June, and Sharon, them say that them love this. That's what they say, yeah. Saturday Night Live, Royal Cleopatra. It's right here.
Up. It's Saturday night, guys. How are you all doing? How is everybody doing? Saturday night, you're working, you're on the job, you're at home, you're relaxing. Listen, it's time to just unwind. I hope, hey, Minnie, you're supposed to draw for your glass. Did you get that birdie? Whatever you got, I hope you're supposed to draw feet now and, sip and enjoy the conversation. You understand? Yeah. All right, guys. So
I'm talking daily. It's on my mind. This is just crazy. I've been feeling passionate lately. Just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I artists them not cease to motivate me. Please press this for right music where elevate me. Let's write as one and encourage each other daily. Look the chorus beats and I take them down to melodic words of inspiration where I feel the youth to prosper. Youth when they feel things aren't working out, dissertate to the ego and assure that. Just in the bed till I start all back, till I start tell yourself that this is where the road stops. NASA, just with the blasted max, not it's a NASA, would that tell no difference. Go within and rise, you got to the surface and realize man a creator, and this I just see better days. Me nah go stop play this track till me start to better days. Lately, just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I artists them not cease to motivate me. Please press this for right music where elevate me. Let's work as one and encourage each other daily. Music can make it away. Love the music express myself when me feel away. Me have me playlist when me go to when me want to reminisce. Me need to tune life out to all it bizarre. Life never always sweet like a gizzard. Nevertheless, me grateful so me make it this far sincerely. Life could have take a turn. Good fortune spread, feeling passionate lately. Just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I artists them nothing to motivate me. Please practice for right music where elevate me. Let's work as one and encourage each other daily.
All right, that was just a teaser, a new song by the man called Jati. If you like the song, just put some fire in the comment section. We are about to start. Without further ado, everybody ready? We all ready tonight? Yes, ready like Freddie. I didn't get it, but I will be shopping for the next trip to store. No problem. Thank you so much for sharing. I see the share. Appreciate it. Comment. And if calling, we're going to put up the number for calling, WhatsApp calling. It's going to be 239-404-6147. So, who you rooting for, Jacket or Westcut? Which one? Talk to me nice in the comment section. Tonight up in here, going to get hot, you know. Oh, my God. Whoa. All right, so WhatsApp calling. The number is 239-404-6147. So whenever if you feel like you have something burning that you want to say about the topic, let's just have a discussion. Call in anytime. Feel free. Okay, guys? So I stumbled on this article in the Jamaica Observer. You know, a lot of us, we don't read. And so some of these things pass us by, like how back pocket pass police and fall teeth pass fall. You know what I mean? Okay, so it states no more jackets. Here, well, let me put out the disclaimer. If y'all like hear me probably pass off a jacket too, no pun intended. So let me put the disclaimer out there for anybody come for me. Okay? Okie dokie. So let's read. Paternity fraud, also known as misattributed paternity, paternal discrepancy, or jacket, is when a man is incorrectly identified to be the biological father of a child. The underlying assumption of paternity fraud is that the mother deliberately misidentified the biological father. I may not agree with that, but we're going to talk about it tonight. Not necessarily. Could be not deliberate, okay? Jacket is related to the historical understanding of adultery. However, it is now identified with other forms of relationships, whether visiting, common law, cohabitation, or fornication. I wonder what visiting means. While incidents of paternity fraud are often occasion of jokes, it is no laughing matter. It is now just 2 years that a cousin of mine was officially declared father of a 28-year-old woman whose mother had intentionally assigned paternity to her husband. The revelation of the real father was due to a family dispute, whereby another relative who knew of the secret spilled the beans. The distraught young lady flew from the United States to meet with her alleged father, and having done a DNA test, confirmed the truth of the relationship. The paternity fraud committed by the mother, who was not detected by U.S. immigration due to the fact that it was the mother who had filed for her child. However, there are thousands of cases in which Jamaican fathers in the diaspora, having filed petitions to have their children join them in the U.S., received the shocking news of not being the biological father. We will continue to read. During this period of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence that happened during November 25 to December 10, when we highlight violence against women and girls/children, it is important to include paternity fraud as an emotional abuse of men that can lead to further acts of violence against women and children. Paternity fraud is a widespread problem in Jamaica, and one speculate that it could be related to the ethnicity of the perpetrator, since the African country of Nigeria is said to be the world's nation with the highest numbers of paternity fraud. While such fraud is present in all ethnicities, one may wonder if most Jamaican women who give jackets are of Nigerian descent. Hold on a little bit. Let me catch my breath. You saw them people are not easy? No, sir. Dr. Herbert Gayle.
Goodbye and the spam calls. Hello to a phone plan with built-in spam blocking.
Dr. Herbert Gayle. Hold on, Mr. Vegas. Hold it. Cease and settle. Dr. Herbert Gayle, leading anthropologist at the University of the West Indies, revealed in a 2016 study that some 25% of Jamaican men are unknowingly raising children who are not biologically theirs, while a 2019 report by Polygenics Consulting, a DNA testing company, indicated that of all the paternity tests that the company has conducted since 2015, when it became operational, 70% were not the father. And that is according to the CNW Network. And that was in November of 2019. Well, now we are in cut to fit straight right there. So Westcut, you say, that was say. Chatbot, reality, adjust reality TV with your number one sensible specialist, Royal Cleopatra. So with this article, it sparked a conversation, and that is what we're going to have tonight. And as you can see, the topic what we obviously a fool for pitney. A fool for pitney. What them say? A fool for pitney. Some woman a raffle and a deep, what Vegas say.
Put away out, put away out. Ding, 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 ding. Diggy, diggy, ding, 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 ding. Diggy, diggy, ding, diggy, diggy, ding. Some guy ruffle up hard it. Me them want piggy the jacket. But we not gonna mind no picking if we know I don't need it.
Drop back that I make another pick. Well, guess what? Many men, as you heard that study, at least 25% out of the 70% who DNA daddy not available mean or they're not the father, as Morris said, you are not the father. To at least 25% are unknowingly raising children that would they claim, or it is claimed that they are the biological father. Okay, so how does this start? How can a woman give a man jacket? Make a reason about this now. I mean, we can look at it from all different angles where a woman might have gotten raped, or you have some women who are cheat, just like men cheat, and they might have had sex with one man at a certain time, certain dates, and then come home to their man, their common law or husband, as it's stated in the article, or whatever you call it, visiting or fornication, one night stand, whatever we call it. And so end up getting pregnant and really don't know whose child it is. Now, most of the times from what I have seen is that the man who they live with sometime may be a very vicious person, in the sense that if they find out that they're cheating, it could cause problem, violence against women. And so that woman would be afraid to disclose that, hey, me have a man on the side, and my name's Dugu Dugu, and it could be the man they're pity, because you don't know, that's gonna cause a lot of friction, a lot of big war. And so she would discreetly bring the child, right? And sometimes, so by the time she get pregnant, because one would say then if she knows say there's a chance of ruffling going on, she could abort the child. And sometimes it might happen where when she really find out that she's pregnant, it's too far away, because we know that with abortion, it's not supposed to be done after you reach a certain stage in pregnancy. And so we're asking the question, how can a woman pass on a child to a man called a jacket? How can that happen? So I want, for the people who are on tonight, like I said, we just start and we want to get the word out. So please share. You come on here, please invite, please share. And I want you to comment. This is not just being a spectator over here. So this is a realist, real life issues we're talking about. And I want feedback, because we know about sometimes we know about it, sometimes we know people who it is happening to. Sometimes we know women, like the article states, who intentionally give men jacket. You understand? And like I said, these are the ones who they get catch and couldn't abort the child, or probably didn't want to abort the child, and then they want the man who live with them to leave them, because that man is the foundation, even though they're probably cheating with another, because cheating a fair go on for you, give a man jacket, not so. No say go. Another man have to be in the picture for jacket to come into play. So that is how jacket come about. Another man has to be in the picture. I mean, short and spicy, just like that. Anybody agree? Come on, man, wanna talk to me now, man. Realists, when my realists them there on European, where are my realists? We're having a conversation. Make it nice and spicy. We're not gonna drag it out. We're not come here for stay long when we talk about these things. We want to make sure so we just drop the bomb and so the people them just want more. So we just keep it short and spicy and to the point. You know what I'm saying? Chatbot. That me say. So for jacket to come into play, a man have to be in the picture. So look here now. What would you do if you in a situation, any woman watching or any man, if you in a situation where your woman get pregnant, but you find out, say, or you hear like a rumor when the baby born, say, boy, the pitney they look like Mass John down the road. Or, hey, and some people lie and wicked, you see, man. You ever know so one man get jacket and them a say, oh, the pitney favor the man? Eh? No, or talk the truth. Talk the truth. Or ever see man get jacket and people in the district and community or country, because you know we can be real. Let us be real. I say, boy, the pin the favor father and know very well say another man pin talk it exactly Minalva. A true. And people just wicked. And as the article states, enough time when men find out so the children are not theirs, most of the times those men are overseas and they file for the children, and then boom, news come. And the results are in. So and so, you are not the father. You know me, I say, oh, that for happen. They did not even have as much as my fingertip. Hey, me see one time already though. Me not lie. Baby born. And even the two of them I say, why the pitney have the man too? And the pitney enough for the man, you know. Okay, but what about let's jump over the over one next part now. What about those women now? Them knows them have a next man, like me say, them have intercourse with both men, but them not sure who get them pregnant after them find out them pregnant. What would you say that woman should do? What would you say that woman should do? Abort the child, bring the child, and tell the man, or what? How would you deal with a situation like that if you were in that place? My realists, where are you? Hello. I'm not talking to myself. Listen, this is not the regular live. These are the interaction lives where you come and we talk the things them and we get them right. You know, we right the wrongs and, you know, we talk about it and we teach and we beat and we do everything. And you know what I'm saying? You know, we're not going to be. We're just here to talk and to just resolve issues or try to resolve issues or, you know, make people look on things a different way. Come now, people, man, if you're in another position, Minalva, how would you deal with this? Because I know you're on here. How would you deal with this? If you find yourself, because remember now, some of these women, them can't tell the man because hell and powder house, hell a go broke loose. You understand? Some people may end up get them DEA, yeah, D or a DED. Which one? Buster man did say BRED. All right, so we have people are calling. So right here, so hello, good night. Thank you for calling in, caller. Where you calling in from? And you know tonight's topic already proof of Pitney. What you say?
So I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, Chicago in the house. Chi-town. Chi-town. Go on, talk the things them, chatbots.
So it's a very sticky situation. It all depends on the individual themselves who is in that position, because if that person is a Christian, I would have believed that that person would have done the right thing and let the husband know that, look, it's not your child, but in real life it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But if I find myself in a situation like that where I'm contemplating between who is the father of my child. And if I know within myself that the child is not that man's child, I would definitely, probably not at that moment, but further down in the relationship, I would have probably tell that person that, look, the child is not yours. but it's a situation to situation basis where if that person is taking care of you and he's been there right through the time, it's gonna be very hard for you to tell him that, look, this child is not yours. But to be honest, I mean, like further down in the relationship, at some point I would have said it, because the guilt that I would feel, that would probably eat me up more than just knowing that, he's taking care of me and taking care of the child. So most definitely I would tell him.
Okay, so hold on, caller. Thanks for that information, but don't hang up yet. So we have School Link. School Link is saying in the comments that, see, sometimes the woman knows it's not the man child, but they still give him as to her the child needs a dad. So what School Link is technically saying that the mother gives the child to the father because them knows that they one night stand man or the man with them a bond, the man will live a yard with probably is not a responsible person, and so the one with their yard is more a father figure, and she knows that the child would have be loved and cared for and nurtured by that man at the house. So like you said, caller from Chi-Town, you said something very okay. There you go. Listen, thank you. You're my realist. You understand? So what may I try to know? Because if you're a Christian, like you say, first of all, that shouldn't even happen for you of two men as a Christian. You know what I say? So conversation get nice, because it and guess what? These are real life situations. That's what I'm talking about. It happens every day, all day. So when we talk about these things, it's not to ruffle anybody's feather. It's just to talk about topics that are uncomfortable, topics that people always try to shove under the carpet. But we have to deal with things like this and teach people. Yes, what I'm saying, and let them know that, look, we're not here to condemn. That's not our position. We're not here to convict. We're not judge, juror, barrister, or prosecutor. We're just here to talk about these things and see how best we can deal with them. And if someone who is listening is going through that, them can get some ideas on how to deal with the matter, right? Right, caller?
That's true. That's true.
Right. And so, okay. So as you said, I will agree with you when you said that at some point in time, I would have to speak, because let me tell you something. You see, guilt is something that you may not tell anybody, but it will eat you up. It will swallow you up. It will torment you. It will torment you. And especially when you said if a person that Christian, it's like their life would be like a living hell because they're getting a beaten left, right, and center. But you see, I'm saying that in that case, because all of this ties up with cheating, and the cheating video is gonna drop this Wednesday, December 15 at 5 p.m. That's an upload. Because if cheating never involved, you'd never have a jacket. Jacket could not come into play. And I have a, like I said, let me put the disclaimer out. All for me probably pass on jacket pan somebody before to I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? No pun intended. But I know a friend of mine who had this daughter. She was 12 years old at the time. And it happened, I think some filing thing was going on too. And it happened that he had to do a DNA. And let me tell you, he used to care for that child. He used to care for that child. When the DNA results came back, guess what? That child was not his. And he was so distraught that he did not want to have anything to do with the child. So let me ask you, caller, real quick. If that happens to you, or you know somebody, and because I said to him, these were my words. I said, look, it's not the child's fault. You cannot blame the child. And the fact that you're the only father or dad the child knows of, to just drop the child like hot breadfruit and hot potato. So it's kind of rough for the child as well. But I understand that in this situation, both parties are going to be torn and hurt. So what would be your advice in a situation like this, caller?
All right. So, as a real man, a genuinely good man, there's going to be a bond between that father and the child. And that bond is going to be so strong because remember, that's what, 12 years though? That are you talking about that situation where it's been 12 years and then they find out or whatever years it may be? There has to be some type of bond between the father and the child for a father and a son, bond or daughter, whatever the case may be. There has to be a bond between them for him to play the father role and taking care of the child, right?
Right.
And so for him to find out after a period of time that the child is not his, as a good man, I would have believed that he would not walk away from the child just like that. Because remember, that's the only father that the child grew up knowing that he is the father, and so on. But it's a conversation that the father should have had with the mother now to say, look, I know it's not my child and whatnot and way. But what I can do is I can contribute to the child just the same, because the child knows me as the father, but it's the mother's responsibility now to let the child know that, look, it's not your dad. And then the child is probably going to want to find out who is the father, and so on and so forth. So I mean, as a real man, he's saying this to say that as a real man, I don't believe that that man should walk away from that child's life, but at least, let them know that, look, I'm not going to probably be able to take that full 100% responsibility, but I can do what I can do. But at the same time, it's also not fair for the man to be taking up another man's responsibility. So it's a hard place to be at. But as a real man, I don't believe that he should walk away from that, because it's not the child's fault, as you said.
May agree 100%, and it's a between a hard. Well, I have some realists on the line, and one of them say is that why woman and man cheat, and like me say, you'll find out if you watch this video this upcoming Wednesday. I will give some tidbits on why men cheat. And we can all, that's, when we talk about this, that's why we need people to come in and talk. So that's the question me want to know, to why man cheat or why woman cheat. Because what me don't want to say, if me realize, say, if me really, really know, because like me say, sometimes it could be also a case where, so it's not necessarily cheating though. Let's say, here we're going now. I soon get to you, I soon get to school link comment. Here we're going now, caller, and me really swore on the line. Sometimes it could be a situation where the woman did in a relationship with a man, right? And probably just break off with the man there, find a new man, which we can also say that she should have given herself time before she jump in her next relationship. But anyway, things like this happen because some woman can catch a fire and then can't keep them kin quiet. And them like to have them, them vitamin S. And so she end that relationship, and is a woman where, as me say, she love that thing there, and say probably within a 2 weeks or a month's time, and she end up find somebody else. Then 3 months down the road, let's say 2 to 3 months down the road, she find out that she's pregnant. That can be a situation like that too. And then she'd have probably think say at the new man pitney, and not knowing, even though the article I read at the beginning stated that most of the women, they deliberately and intentionally pass on these jackets to these men. But you understand, you see where it can happen many different ways. It not necessarily mean that it's cheating or it's intentional or deliberate. You understand what I'm saying, Carla?
Yeah.
But I just said, you said something very profound. It's hard because when some of these children become adults, they want to know who the fathers are. They want to know who the fathers are. You understand? Somebody, did I miss another call? I look like somebody said I try calling. They want to know who the father is. Now, you as a mother, are you going in a torment now? It's like the guilt, and is, I would say, talk from beginning. And that's why we have to be with partners who at the end of the day, them have to be somebody who we can sit down and talk to. But at the end of the day, which man want here say you go, they go and have a child of that, come from that do go together, and you still live with him. So, but to me, honesty is always the best policy, and to make sure say it not cause no problem or greater problem in the long run, I would say, boy, so me have something to tell you, me no know how me gonna tell you now. Or get somebody tell him, call your mother or your father or somebody who you know him close to, and say, do me a beg you can't tell him for me. I don't know. It's a sticky situation. It's a sticky situation. Because the child needs to know who the real father is. You understand what I'm saying? And at the same time, it's hard for no say a man is spending money like what one of the realists said. The reality in the long run, giving a man a jacket has its side effects. I have known man taking care of a child that is not his, spending money like wow, he was then filing for the child and then he found out. Right? And another, there will be a bond that he will be heartbroken. And as the caller state, it is to be a man who has a good heart to still stay in that child's life. For real. You understand? Because I've seen on the flip side where men find out that the child does not belong to them and still decide that, listen, I'm me or the daddy. And some people that say him fully, but it's just to show the gentleman that he really is, to be honest. Because when you look at it now, the child are gonna get left and end up in the world, probably become a vagabond, and with all this distress and trying to figure out and to calculate what's going on, it's not easy. People like these, they need therapy. They're going to need therapy. What do you think?
And at the end of the day, the child is not responsible. They're not liable for this action that the mother took. They're not. They're innocent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
This been happening to Jamaican families from a long time. There's no example showing from the older generation. So the system gets worse until the lifestyle escalated and it never gets better. That is so truly said, because that's what I read. It's an article I read at the beginning of the live where it's from the Jamaica Observer, and this was written in December of 2020. The title states "No More Jackets," and it's saying that paternity fraud, they call it paternity fraud. The official name for giving a man a jacket is paternity fraud. And they're saying that it's also known as misattributed paternity. Paternal discrepancy is another name, or straight up jacket. And it's when a man is incorrectly identified to be the biological father of a child. And, assuming that the mother deliberately misidentified the biological father. But you see, like, one of the realists also state that the man outside sometimes is in a worse situation than the man. But you see, why cheating? Why cheating? If it's a case where they cheat, you understand what I'm saying? Or it could be a case where the woman just break off with somebody else and get in a new relationship. And that's why I think the man should be understanding, no matter what, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Of course, it hurts. Here, the truth always hurts. But like I said, it could be a situation where it's not cheating, but the woman just left that relationship, ended up in a new relationship, and the child. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for calling in, caller. So, let's continue the conversation. It's hard. And I know sometimes too, when you might disclose to the child that, hey, look here, the man who you think is your father may not be your father. It's a hard pill to swallow as well. But at the end of the day, you have to just learn to forgive and just move on. At the end of the day, we're going to do sit down hurt all the times. Okay, Malakia, this happened to me. Would love to give my views. Go ahead. The call-in number is 239-404-6147. WhatsApp call. You can definitely call in to give your input on this topic. Ufa Pitney. Some woman a raffle and dip. And is it a jacket or Westcut? Who now root for tonight? So go ahead, Malaka, if you want to call in. WhatsApp is 239-404-6147. All right, that is the next thing again. So you have white woman and white man, but yes, still black baby come. Oh, that go. Oh, they talk to me now. Oh, the jacket they go. Because we're going to talk about all the kinds of jackets tonight. How that go. So let me get your views, guys. Come on. 2 white people, bring one black pitney. Or 2 black people, bring one shiny pitney. No, sir. Talk of realists. All my realists, where you at? Where you at? Where are you? Come on, keep the comments rolling or call in. 239-404-6147, and that's via WhatsApp only. But WhatsApp call 239, as you see on the screen, 404-6147. The conversation get nice. No, listen, Raffle and dip. Morris said the results are in. Hoover Pitney. Yeah, because you have people, but you see, let me first put my 2 cents to this. It can happen where 2 white people bring a black pitney, because guess what happened? Slavery, people move about from different continents to different continents. I mean, no, I'm not going to say foolishness, but it can happen. It can happen. It can happen where genealogy, you go down the ancestral line. You understand? What the great grandfather could have been a black man. because if you should do an ancestral DNA, you'd be surprised to find out how many percent of Irish is in you, how many percent of German is in you, how many percent of African is in you, how many percent of Maroon is in you, how many percent of this or how many percent of that. So, would you agree that if two white people get a black child or two black people get a Chinese looking child, that it could be from generation way back? Would you agree? One ring and it cut off. Hold on. One ring and it cut off. I mean, somebody just called on it. All right, hold on. I think I probably have to. Just a second. All right, you can try again. You can try again. Try calling. I really appreciate a panel discussing this matter that people been way too silent about for too long. Yeah, man, over here, so real issues are just reality TV with your number one sensible specialist who has spiraled from stupidity to sensibility. You don't know, it's your Royal Cleopatra, and we're gonna talk these things that are gonna tickle some people, gonna ruffle some people, but that's okay. That's okay. We have to deal with situations like these. We have to. We definitely have to, because that's the only way we're going to resolve these issues. That's the only way we're going to help others to get out of situations like this, and help men understand that if they should find themselves in situations like these, it's not the end of the world. I know it's hot, and I understand that I may not be able to tell you hush or whatever because it's your feelings, but at the end of the day, consider yourself a father. That's something good. At the end of the day, that is something good to be a father to a child, because guess what? It could be a situation where that man cannot even have children. How about that? Let's talk about the things, man. Listen, man, on the call in, man, 239-404-6147 WhatsApp. Who can see there? I just said it before my realist Minalva coming with a comment. We are on point. Talk the truth. Pinch his ears, lock his mind. What about the man who can't get woman pregnant and then found out they get a woman pregnant? How does that woman deal with that situation? There you go. So we're switching the roles right now. That's another good that night. Hey, topic get warm, you know. Warm, you know. Listen, for real. All right. So guys, if you were trying to call, please try to call back. Please try calling back. Please try calling back. Okay, go ahead, caller. You can call back. Go ahead. The line is open, 239-404-6147. Go ahead and call back. I figured out what was the problem. This come from poverty and our DNA. That is right. Listen, poverty, a true poverty, because sometimes the woman, the man a yard not take care of the woman. All him do just want dig her out, and not bringing anything to the table, to the plate. And sometimes, I mean, a man can't live without a woman. A real man can't live without a woman. And likewise, a woman can't live out, because from creation, it was stated that we were created to put on earth and to couple together and also to reproduce. But at the end of the day, that woman may stray away seeking, or the man a yard to probably a gear bun to or treat her one kind of way, and so she'll look for love. Or hey, this is a conversation that can go many different angles. You understand? It can go many different ways, but sometimes, like I said, poverty plays a role in these entanglements where the woman steps out. You understand? Good night, caller. Thank you for calling in. Fufa Pitney. Fufa Pitney.
I'm my one man.
Go right ahead, because I don't know the topic. So say your two piece to make we hear what's going on.
All right. Yeah. By the way, I have to say enough big ups to you guys for really a whole discussion here, because that's something them things need to be discussed. It should have been discussed for years, but them things have been pushed under the carpet, you know. And it happened to me, so I feel like I have earned the right to speak wherever and whenever this matter is being discussed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have dealt with it you know, it's been what 28 years. You know, I was young, 20 years old, and to be honest, it didn't come out of a relationship. I was 20. It's not like I was with the woman and the woman got cheat on me like that and give me a jacket. Maybe that's why it was easier for me to deal with it.
Okay.
To be honest, it was a woman. When me.
So hold on, man. Conversation get nice, you know. Hold on, caller. Make we get down in it, you know. So you did a give bun too. That means to say you did a give your woman bun, or you never have nobody. Which one?
No, I never have no woman.
Okay. You quickly jump out of the fire. Okay, go on talk.
Yeah. I never had a woman. Me did kind of, 20-year-old.
So the caller, first of all, hold on, caller. So they really stem on the line. They're saying that, yes, sir, we need to hear from a man's perspective. So go on, I'll allow you to speak. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
Yeah, so our thing they go down now. Yeah, 20-year-old just a come through. I have a girl here or there, but me not in a committed relationship with nobody. Me just a come out of the nest, you know. So this lady, she was older than I am. Somebody when me grew up around, but she have a man. And I know she have a man, but our man work days and I used to work night them time there. So you find say at daytime when the man da work, that daughter they, and this probably happened 2 or 3 times, she mess around with me 2 or 3 times and quickly she all of a sudden she starts to see any man left, she don't want him. She and him left. She don't want him. Next thing you know, she get pregnant. No, she get pregnant and he come like she start run the man. As soon as she find out she's pregnant, she start running the next brother.
So you did have money?
Well, I also have money. I'm 20 years old. I don't have money, but I have a good job. I had a job that would have been considered way superior to the next man job, and he was an older guy. I was like 20 years old. He was closer to 30. So she started running with the man. Anyways, she was friends with my older sister. She and my older sister with a friend. So. Boom, she said she's pregnant. Now, my old man tell me and my brother, say, if you're drunk one night I come from work and your liquor, you're going to mess with a mad woman and get her pregnant. And she said, you a pick me off in mind, you pick me. And this was my first youth. So, all right, do what I should do. I buy up her baby clothes, them gear, where she gear, and she start playing the baby mother role. So, like me say, at the time when she gets pregnant, me and I never there. But when she pregnant, no one see my pick me. She carry me from the youth now. She start turn baby mother, so it's like me and I start then now. But me and I never did before. It was just a thing we go down.
Okay.
All right, but baby born. I'll never forget the night when the baby born. Baby born the Tuesday night, and I see the baby the Wednesday morning. I was at work when the baby born, and I come from work the Wednesday morning. As I come, I stop down my yard and look for the baby. Now she had a 2-year-old. At the time, she had a little boy at 2. When my daughter born, she had a little boy at 2-year-old. So I stop down there and I go upstairs, go look on the baby. Down my yard. And I look on the baby on the bed and I look on the little boy who stand by bed foot. And I say, no man, them 2 pick me a favor too much. Them 2 pick me a favor too much. So I go from my yard and I tell my old lady and my sister them and things, say, no, that pick me, they are not female pick me, And them start cuss me. My mother and my sister, my big sister, them start cuss me. Say, what this. Mind me no want mind me pick me. Zang. And because I know said that wasn't the motivation. I don't mind me no want me never. My mind pick me in my belly. Me give everything lavish where she forget because I'm the first youth that come on me in a good job.
Right.
So me give everything where she get when she's pregnant. So I don't see why all of a sudden you would have born and me no want.
So let me ask you something, Carla, real quick. May I interject? Did you have any thought that the child was yours from pregnancy? Because the mother saying she said when man get woman pregnant, them know.
A foolishness, don't know so. When you don't have nothing to feel, there's been no know nothing about that. I'm a 5th youth that I get 5 children and I don't know nothing about man feel no nothing when woman pregnant. I didn't experience that.
Mm-hmm.
So when she's pregnant, I don't know. But again, I'm the first youth to come and I feel happy about it. I'm youth. She see, I'm my youth, and like I said, at the time I'm young. So when the baby born, I'm look for the baby now, I say, no, I know my pick. I'm a family them start, my female family them, not my male family them. My mother and my sister them start rebel against me. So I say, I never sure to say, I don't mind, I don't want mind the picnic. So I start mind the picnic with all of my might. But although I mind the picnic, me still I tell them say I know my youth. When I say mine, I means me not send my pitney guard a basic school up in our community. Me send my pitney guard private school. Okay. When she do common entrance and she not pass common entrance, you look a school where them send her go, me not send her go down there, so me go take her out this one. Send her go proper school. Now we come to filing time. Me live America now, me the American. File for me youth them. I file for she and another daughter when me did have. I have a son when I filed for all three of them same time, even though my son was already here. I did get my son here upon a visa. So he was already here, so I filed for all three of them at once. Okay. Because my son was already here, he got through right away. And the two girls were in Jamaica now when them filing to come through. I was so confident that she can't pass the DNA test that I even tried to do a bribe, send her a thing to some links from me know to see if they could take 2 samples from my other daughter and not take a sample from that one. Because I know she couldn't pass it.
You wanna listen to the caller really? Go on talk.
I know she couldn't pass it, but you know, like I said, by then she's 17, almost 18 by the time the filing come through. And we build a relationship. I love her to this day. I love her to death. I'm a pitney. Like that.
That's what we're talking about, the bond, yes.
Anyways, when we do the DNA thing and they told me that the results is gonna come to me in the mail on a Friday evening. And remember me did travel, go to another county and come back Friday evening. So by the time I come back at night, I got the mailbox and I got the mailbox. They say the 2 envelope in the mailbox. And my heart beat fast. And I open the first envelope, and I'm open the first envelope when I flip it, it say my next daughter, the daughter when me sure see mind, it's a fear name. But as I look on me, see a fear name that. I mean not even bother look on the one day. I mean I need to look on the one day. I put it back at the next one I want to see. And when I open it, it say 0% probability.
Oh Jesus.
Boom. I call her mother. I call her mother and I say, listen, the DNA result coming up. Your daughter now come America, you know. And when I said that to her, she thought, one ball, like I went there, yes, a gunman shoot your picnic.
So hold on, stick up in. Do you think the mother knew that the child wasn't yours?
That's what the call is all about.
Okay, go ahead.
The question you just ask is to make this point. Listen to me.
Okay.
Don't make nobody fool you know. A woman always know. When I say always, I mean 100% of the time. Every last jacket we ever give on this planet, the woman knew. And I'm going to tell her when she knew. Remember, you know, when a woman find out that she's pregnant, the minute she do the pregnancy test and she's positive, you know, the first thing clock in her mind is, damn, a fool, especially if she knows that she sleep with more than one man. The first thing coming in her mind, she ever wonder if a junior or a Paul. Because she knew she did sleep with them 2 men there right around the time where it's possible. You see, when that baby they born, the minute the nurse they take that baby from between her leg and kick to her, the first thing we see her look on is look if she say junior or Paul.
But hold on. Me asked you a question a while ago, which a lot of people, it could be a myth where if men know when they get a woman pregnant. Now, a realist commented and said, I would disagree with you, caller, about not knowing that the man would not know when the woman gets pregnant. You probably weren't paying attention to the signs. Now, I'm saying that, and I'm responding to your response to the myth that that's nothing doesn't go like that. But when the woman, you're saying that she's searching the child's features to see who the child favor. Do you believe that you can really tell who a baby looks like when a baby stage?
No, that's why I'm coming to my point. When they say the woman, no, listen. When the baby born, she might not know that same day, but she not stop look because she know what she did do. Nobody else might not look, you know, but she look because she knew.
Then what if the baby look like the mother?
Well, listen what I say. Even if the baby look like the mother, Empress Clear, even if the baby look like the mother, and she say baby look at her, look like her, because she's looking to see if she's a junior or Paul on the baby one day, somewhere along the line, she will see the baby they put on one facial expression. She will see the baby do something, she will see blood fire upon
walk or something.
Or something, one day, something definitive is gonna pop in her face, and she is gonna, and you see one see that something that day. Every time the baby, if it was a smile that she see or a facial expression, every time the baby do the facial expression there again, she's gonna start to see Paul or Junior more and more. She might not say it, you know, and nobody else might not know, but she knows.
True.
She knows.
Yes.
Anytime a woman give a man a jacket, before long she find out. Before the baby they reach a year or 2 year old, she know which one the man them pick. So when my baby mother put her hand on her head and that ball and she find out she picked the and come off foreign, and I didn't feel bad for her. I felt bad for my daughter because the girl just graduated high school. She graduated high school in June. The filing come through in the August part right there, so where she come up. Give her everything. She give her everything to her friend them already because she come America.
That's our next topic we can talk about. Go and talk.
Give her everything, and as it turned out, she had to watch her little sister who is from a different mother. My other daughter will get to is from a different mother.
Yes.
She's 3 years younger. She had to watch her little sister get on a plane and come to America and leave her out there. And I've tried several times, several different ways. First thing that I tried to do when that happened a moment there, I tried to adopt her. But she was too close to age 18. You can't adopt an adult, so that didn't work.
Okay.
I may try several other things to get her here till me just tell myself, say, you know what, don't force the issue. If she will come here, she will. And nothing has changed. My only grand picture that I have right now is from that child. And I'm going to tell the listeners on the call this thing right now. Right now, we can tell a man, say, I want my best pick me up. When that, you know that pick me the way you know.
That's another argument again. You're right. Go ahead, caller.
That pick me the way you know if you're factor when you're all on the one place, you know, say, if no other pick me now did I want to go there. That is the pick me that the data that when me have when me know. So I would have said I heard somebody mention, the last caller mentioned that if he's a real man, when he find out, him not go through when pick the man when him and maybe it was easier for me, like me said, because me did always know say I know my pick me. So maybe it was easier for me deal with it when I find out. Maybe if it was out of a relationship when me and the woman in a relationship and she got cheap on me and give me a jacket and then I find out your jacket, maybe it was harder to deal with.
Okay. So I want you, before you get off this phone caller, what advice do you get from a man to another man, would you give to a man who finds himself in a situation like this? Because I was saying earlier, like, you know, knowing how I look at it now, if you knew, because sometimes, like I said, a woman could have just ended a relationship with someone, and it could be a woman who don't want to be single for long, and she get into another relationship within a month time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month time, and right away she start get involved with the next man, and further down the road, 2 months, 3 months, she find out that she's pregnant. That could, it could
happen like that. A woman is not necessarily a slut because that's something happened to her. It could happen like you just said, like when the transition happened and it happened quickly, and it could happen.
Exactly, because one of my realists was saying that when woman and man is going to stop cheating, when is the system going to stop? Is it going to be better for the younger generation? So this is a question that a realist have. So I would want you to respond to that, as well as to give advice to any man if they should find themselves in a situation where the woman either stepped out, or it's a situation where she was in a previous relationship and it happened, and she wants to come and sit and have a talk with her man to let him know the mishap. So I want you to answer to that realist question and give your advice to other men.
All right. My advice. First of all, what was the other question? Not the advice.
The question was when woman and man is going to stop cheating. When is this system going to stop? Is it going to be better for the younger generation?
As far as when woman and man is going to stop cheating, it's an individual thing. Every man will stop cheating, or every woman will stop cheating at them one time. There will never be a time where on a universal level, not a single man on the earth or not a single woman on the earth not cheat. It's a thing where what has happened in the past is what will happen. There's nothing new under the sun. But so that will continue to happen. It's just you have to go up in your own consciousness and ask yourself, is it worth it? If you're, because the only thing that can cause a man or a woman to cheat, is something you're not happy about in your current relationship. It is
if you want to hear that cheating video, will be dropping this Wednesday and upload about cheating, so you can stay tuned for that one too. We want to hear your input on that one.
Yeah, so is it worth it rather than say cheat or just shut down? If you're not happy.
Right.
All right. And the next point now about what advice would I give to a youth where find himself in a situation there. In this day and time, this is not 1993 when this happened to me. This is 2022. coming up, where all of the technology is there. If you suspect you're not your youth, open up your mouth and ask your DNA test from early out.
Mhm.
Don't become banded to a child when you feel unsure about. Open up your mouth, ask your DNA test, get the DNA test. Where if they come out say the child is not yours, and you choose at this point that you want to still father this child, go ahead and father the child and don't let nobody influence you not to. And the other thing that people must be aware of is that man give woman jacket, you know.
Yes.
Man give woman jacket, you know. When a man and a woman in a relationship and the man step out and get a picnic with a jacket, give the woman with a yard.
Well, as a caller say agree. One of our really say yes, agreed.
Yeah, man, it's a jacket, especially if the relationship between you and the woman at home are going to continue. Then you give the woman a jacket, can now she have to live with a picnic where you have that is not hers.
True.
Just
true.
like the other way around, it would be the other. We have to just come to ourselves here, Rasta. We have to just come to ourselves and forgive though. Forgive it if it happens and you decide say, if your woman cheat by and give a jacket and you decide say, you decide say you go stay. You can't stay and wave it in the woman face.
That's what I'm saying. No, but it's not wave. The fact that the child is there, so the child would be waving. So the fact, okay, I would disagree. And my realist, you're listening to this conversation. How could it be you're waving it unless you're? I mean, it's not like you're going to her and say, "Oh, me get a picnic on the road." The fact is, the child is already there, so that's a big wave in the ear. We're not gonna stop wave.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying if let's say it's a man in a picnic on the road, and the wife decides that she now mash up her marriage, she will stay with her husband. You can't stay with your husband and hold it over your head.
That's what I was coming to that, but I'm happy you go ahead.
Yeah, and it is the same thing. If you're there with your woman or your wife and she go get one picnic out of the road and you find out your jacket and your one and you decide to stay, you can't hold it over her head for the rest. Either better when you just mash up and go on, but you can't hold it over her head for the rest of her life.
That's right.
You have to let it. If you're gonna let it go, you have to let it go.
You have to. If you decide, as I said, if both of you forgive each other, whether it be from the man's point of view or the woman's point of view, you have to both let it go, because you can't the least argument, oh, that's this, or the man, oh, that means you've not really forgiven and you're still holding on to it. I mean, it hurts, but you have to make that conscious decision intentionally and deliberately that, look, okay, I am not going. I apologize, I'm extremely sorry. You understand, and you do all the apology and the person forgives you. Then if you forgive, because people have this notion, because I used to find myself in that trap where, oh, me forgive but me now forget. Guess what? To truly forgive, you have to forget. You have to let it go.
To truly forgive, you have to forget. I don't say forget no means say you're not member. You have to choose not to think about it. That's
right.
That's how you forget it. You forget it by anytime your mind go there, you divert your mind to something else. Because once you start thinking about it, you're gonna start hurting again. And once you start hurt again, you're gonna start divert the hurt to the person where they hurt you. So you truly can't forgive the person. You keep going back and hitting the person all over again.
Right.
Completely. That's let it go completely, man. So I don't want to take up the whole time. Because I know say some people want that, but man, if no man on the line, brother, when you see you no picking no what, you're idiot. You can't look on your picking and know your picking.
Well, that's some good points, and we thank you for, because most times men, it's very rare when men call in or get involved in conversations like these publicly, openly, and we really love when men get involved because, men are considered leaders and the kings and, the protector and all of that, who we're supposed to, look up to, so to speak. So I appreciate you calling in, and thanks for the gems that you've dropped, the advice, and you sharing your own personal experience getting a jacket. You understand what I'm saying? Because the article I read earlier states that it's 70% Jamaican men who have to be fathering children. And the 70% actually, they don't know that the child is not theirs. And like you said, I believe that some men know when they get at that argument about men knowing when they get woman pregnant. I believe that to a greater extent, and that's why I would also agree with your advice where you would tell them that, man, get a DNA early if you have a suspicion or you have some drawback to say, listen, I don't think this child is mine. So you, the man, can initiate the move and not wait until it gets further on, down the line where things get and then war come into place and violence and all of that. We don't want that. So I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man. Peace and bless.
Okay, thanks.
Cool.
All right, guys. So there you have it. You heard it from a man himself, and not only just a man, but someone who has experienced jacket, for himself. And as you heard, his situation was a case where he knew the child was not his, and so it was easier for him to digest it and take it on and love this child, nurture this child, and care for this child and maintain this child financially as well. And like you heard it, children, it could, like I said earlier, it could be a case where, okay, the man get a jacket and the woman tell him, and then it caused one bangarang. But men, stop and think first, because it could be a case where your sperm count is so low that you can't even get a child. And so that child to you, even though it's not your sperm that brought this child into this world, but you being in this child's life and that bond, might as well, because you hear it from the man before, our caller is saying that this child who's a jacket is one of his best children. There, you heard it. I didn't say it, you heard it for yourself. So, things like these happen. We know it's real. And we just have to talk about it so that we try to squash the violence part of it, or assist someone else who's in it and show them little ropes and so on, how they can deal with it or how they should deal with it in an amicable way, So guys, do you have anything else to say after listening to this caller? Oofa Pitney. Oofa Pitney. Talk to me now, man. Oofa Pitney. And about your bar registration fee. Marina said, blacks are Pitney daddy, but the Pitney they really favor Bunty. Raffle up on it. Need them one piggy jacket. But we not go mind no pickle if it no enemy. So Vega say now man no pity if you wanna make it well. That's to each his own. Now a realist is saying since the court system is doing much better now, men are doing better. Is that a thought? Lisette? Is it that you're saying that in your opinion the court system is doing better now? Are you talking about child support when the DNA has to be done? I mean, how is the court system doing better in order for men to do better? Can you expound a little bit? I mean, you can call in, 239-404-6147, WhatsApp wide open. The phone lines are free. Let's go. Let's start the things them. Where you said chat about, and that me say, I just reality TV. I just reality. For Cleopatra, man, reality she a deal with and she not act shy. What me say, Cleopatra? She there? For all the boys and girls, number one a teacher, number one principal specialist in that area. All right, we have another caller. Go on, true caller. Over Pitney. Over Pitney.
Good night.
Good night, caller. Where you calling in from? Make we know what go on where in the world you're dead tonight.
Calling from Chicago.
Chicago look like them in the business. Go on, shy town on our lead. Fuva Pitney. Where you say, caller?
Yeah. I mean, based on jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you find out it's not the child, make it fault. So if you get a jacket, first and foremost, think about the child, himself and his future, and deal with it from that point of view. Mother and you can deal with it on a different level.
Let me ask you, are you a child of God, Christian, whatever we call it, self-caller? And it's a reason why I ask you. I mean, I know it's a personal question, but I'm going somewhere with this. Are you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So my thing is this. I believe, even though human beings are human beings, it doesn't have any title. Title doesn't mean anything. But I would believe, when we started this conversation, one of the realists stated that it can happen to Christian people, and sure does. Should it happen? Because as a child of God, if you don't have a husband, you're supposed to be abstaining, you're supposed to be celibate. You understand? And if you have a husband, you're not supposed to cheat in the first case, or unless you just end one relationship and have a husband, I think it's gonna happen in a 1 month. You understand what I'm saying? So that must be cheating. Now, if this happens in the church, yeah, I believe that the Christian man would probably deal with it in a more amicable way. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It should.
And why I say that, I'm thinking that as a child of God, you understand that to forgive 70 times 7. And as the previous male caller stated, that these things have been happening from Wapikil Philip from way back then. And it is happening now. And I also see a realist in the comments stated also to say that cheating will not stop until God comes, and it's going to get worse. And I would want to ask, after you call, I want to ask how or why, how is it going to get worse, in other words? But from a Christian perspective, I'm thinking that, you have Christ and you're thinking about Christ, you're looking at the person or your wife as to say, you know what, you're going to see her not for what she did, but to say, okay, guess what? You can make mistakes. It's okay, but hope it don't happen again. And I forgive you. And, I will take on this child as my child and deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? And, when these things happen in the church, Carla, I'm going to want you to talk. There are a lot of times they hush these things, because sometimes guess who do the cheating? The pastor up on the pulpit, you didn't know?
Yeah, most definitely.
You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of these things happen in the church, and people, they cover it up. Like I said, this conversation is about for pitney, but it can go many different angles.
Yes, for true. It happens a lot of times in the church, and they cover it up. But is it right? No, it is not. But sometimes you gotta question it. Why does it happen? Mm-hmm. And how did it happen in the church?
Right. Good question. Yes.
It can cause from looking at a wife and a husband. I mean, not spending enough time together. In a sense. And probably wife might have come from a background that they didn't spend enough time telling them all about relationship, how to treat the husband. But because you're in the church, you got caught up in a situation where you got to get married. And you weren't taught all about relationship, how to treat a man or how to treat a wife. And it can go vice versa. The man can come from out the road while the wife was brought up in the church. And that can be in a situation where the man come from the road and him know him is a street man, knowing things and so forth. While he come married to a lady now who was brought up in the church, didn't taught a lot about sex and how to take care of him. So there comes a problem now, because the man that come from the road who having a woman this and having a woman this,
Yeah.
And then spend enough time together, and the man expects a boy, me I come from the road, so this is my wife, I know maybe this was illegal more than any time being up the road and everything. But it wasn't so.
Yeah.
It is more or less than what you're coming from with the road. So you don't know that if he is not grounded spiritually, then his habits will just reoccur easy as 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Yeah. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Coming back. Because look, reality is the problem. We're still in the flesh. Regardless, we have the Spirit of God in us. The flesh is always want to overpower the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to put yourself under subjection. You got to fast. You got to pray. You got to give yourself to the Word to counteract what the flesh desire. Because that's the only way you're going to change your whole life where you usually live. If you don't do that, then you find yourself in a situation doing about the same thing. Although you're married, you can still have one girl at a, but you might not go to road this time. You might have one girl in the church, a young sister in the church were hot, and you know, give you a look.
Hold on there, call a conversation get at you now, fire. Hey, my realists, are you listening? Make sure to open up with the ears. If wax in there, clean it out. Go on, through, caller.
Yeah. So same time, wife in a church, but the sister, I give the husband a look. And the enemy know how to set up what he wants to get, the platform that he wants to get to. Because the enemy always want to mash up something that is looking good, that is in the will of God.
Division.
He wants to divide it. Yeah, divide. So, yeah, we say next to the young girl, and, you know, the husband might start draw close and start talk, and, you know, yard boring, but with the thought that he's getting from the young sister is what he wants to hear. And all that the enemy is going to do is to put strength to it. And within no time, I mean, feelings start, and then, you know, opportunities come up, and they start to hang out, and then, you know, differences, and that's how it goes. And then by playing that, pregnancy comes in, and then there goes the whole relationship in turmoil. So this is one of the ways it happens in the church too. There's people there, the churches, there are a lot of sisters in there. There's only a few men in the church.
Can I add to that? I want to add to that. So listening to what he was saying, it goes both ways, because sometimes what happened in the church, and I've heard about it, what happened is that because you're in church, things that you can't do, and there are certain things that you won't do because it's church, right? And so the relationship sometimes gets so in that either party is going to look something else outside of the marriage. And then that's what happened that caused cheat, and then probably baby come in picture. Because the marriage is not enticing anymore. People get comfortable, and now so they're looking for something else, or they're looking for something that they got at the beginning of their marriage, which is no longer here. So it causes them to be looking for that, and so they keep looking until they find it, and when they do find it, they're gonna hold on to it. You know, so and that's how cheating comes into play, and then it end up that it's sweeter now. So guess what? Pregnancy is gonna come into the picture sometimes too, and that happens from, you know, the woman's perspective, and I agree with the caller that says that a woman can get a jacket too, because that's something that to me in my previous relationship.
The things I'm calling a chatbot, got you.
So
got you.
You know, it happened in the church, and they cover it up, and just because of this thing that they call PRIDE, which is the devil's clothing. They walk around with pride and feeling that, okay, because I am such and such title, or because I am in the church, I'm not going to let this look. We're just going to work with it. And deep down inside of them, they're dying slowly.
Yeah. They're suffering silently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Conversation get deep, you know, boy. I'm telling you. See? That's why it's good to have conversations like the caller stated earlier, these type of conversation on these topics that nobody wants to speak about them because everybody wants to be politically correct, or because of pride, like you stated, nobody wants to speak about these things when it's staring us in our face. Some of us are even experiencing it. Some of us have been through it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we have to talk. Communication is key. And when we have forums like these where everybody come together, it's like a you know, like when you have people who are alcoholics and you have that group where all of them come together and they share their experiences and they talk about it, and then you have the therapist that comes in to insights on how to deal with these situations or how to prevent these situations, because then you have this saying that says prevention is better than cure. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these conversations are much warranted. They are very important, and it's not a situation where we should always just shy away and say, you know, me can't bother. No, we have to face our Goliath more time.
But also, what about the pastors who repetitiously go out there and get children?
Lord Jesus, girl, let me have you.
And there are a lot of them too.
Many.
So don't think it's just the little small fishes in the church. It's the big sharks too. They go out there and get children, and it's not one or two times. Some of them have more than one children out there.
But you see, that's why these
some of them, some of the ladies or the men who can't have children, they go out there and get children.
So would you say in the Bible where was it Hannah? What would they give the okay for her husband to go have children?
For Abraham to go to his mate.
Right. And then she get jealous. And then she, so what, I mean, expound to the realists who are listening. How does that work? Because like we know, these are things that has been happening in that happened in history from Bible days, and it's still happening today.
It does happen. It does happen. And there are women out there who cannot conceive, and then they send their husbands out there to go get the child because they want to save their marriage. And they feel like when sending the husbands out there to go get that child, it's gonna help their marriage, because that's stupid for you to send your husband out there to go get a child just because you can't bear him a child, when he's gonna get attached to that child. It's gonna build a bond and with the child, also with the mother, and that's gonna eat away your marriage. You're setting up your marriage for failure.
Most definitely. Definitely. Because words are easier said than done, you know. And sometimes we say things, but it's not really what our heart is saying. And so this whole thing, like I said, most times, like Lisa said, I understand that there are one-off situations, but most times when jacket comes into play, it's correlated with cheating. And it goes both ways. The man cheat, get a woman jacket, because a lot of times people say we just beat the man them bad so, or beat the woman them bad so, whichever gender. But at the end of the day, it happens both ways. Both ways. Is it right? No. But you mentioned something, Carla. I just want to touch on that real quick. Very profound to me. The ratio of women to men. That plays a great role as well as the fact that some men, because sometimes it is when the man finds out that he has a jacket child, that him really find out say him can't get no woman in a gelding. Him find out say him a gelding. He's a gelding. He can't get anyone pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes out of evil comes good. What would you agree with that, caller?
Yes, in this sense, if the person is really interested in kids, but you have another person now who married to a woman and can't get any kids.
Well, okay.
He's desperate, but in a sense, sometimes it's not said a woman can't have it, but she having some problems like fibers and all that. So she does need to look after herself and so forth. So it caused a lot of problem in the marriage.
But it shouldn't, because you take the vow and say till death do us part through sickness and health and all of these things.
Yeah. Well, I know
that's the human nature. That's the human nature. That's the human side of us that comes in here.
Right. So I know it caused a couple marriage to fall apart because of that.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, the man wants kids, he can't.
Right.
And I have a friend that got blamed for that, and the man got blamed, say him had a problem. Doctor said his sperm count was low and all of that, and the marriage went apart.
Wow.
And today the man got married again, and he got 2 kids.
I was about to say that because sometimes it could be that those two were not compatible, and people don't. You see, these are topics. You know, we have, out of this conversation tonight, there's so many topics that we can have on an individual basis because people don't understand this. They don't get this from a medical perspective. That when two people come together, it doesn't necessarily. If the man should do a test at the moment or whatever, that the man have children. It could be, yes, that him definitely, completely cannot have children. But it could be a case wherein that man and that woman, they are not compatible when it comes to sperm and eggs. Because that man will move on and boom, as he move on and breathe on the next woman that him coming in breed her. You know, so this conversation here, I'm telling you, it's there's so many things that we can discuss, so many, you know, tangents, you know, different branches going off. Well, I want to ask you a question, Carla, as I see a realist while I have you on the phone. One realist is saying that the court system is doing much better now. Men are doing better. Because remember, we have to talk about child support too, where, you know, men are being put on child support. And sometimes that is where some of the men finds out, not only when they're filing to get a relative or their child or children here in the States, but also if it happens here in the States where they get a jacket, it could be that they find out at the time of if that woman had the audacity to put the man on child support. And so this realist is saying that people don't want to pay child support, so men are more disciplined about sex. I don't know. I don't think so. Men still go about flashing their tails. I don't know, but it could be a case. And also she said, remember, a lot of us didn't know that having sex comes with responsibility. They did not know that having sex comes with responsibility. Because on that note, Carla, I would say, I had it in my head and I don't want it to slip me. If people who gives jacket, it happens off cheating. Why when you're cheating, you don't bag it? Bag it, no, man or ladies. We have things that, because the ladies have the condoms that they can use too. So do something, or you I don't know. And remember, diseases can come out of all this cheating too. It's, oh my God, there's so many things. I don't know.
I mean, they're not thinking about that in this time. They're not thinking about condom or disease or anything.
Mm-hmm.
All at the beginning, what they're thinking about is their enjoyments, the niceness and all of that. But not thinking that out of the niceness and all of that, there comes pregnancy.
Yeah.
Child to be taken care of. The woman needs somewhere to stay. You need a job. Then further on down, the child is going to want to go to school and all of that. Is after the pregnancy come, you're going to look at the woman and say, hey, you gotta get rid of it because I don't want it. I can't manage it.
But what about those men too that deliberately get the woman pregnant who them probably cheat with, knowing well that they don't want the responsibility, and because them know so the man who the woman have a yard is a responsible man? What you would have to say about that? Because we have to look at that too, because it happens.
But those men too that does that, they have an ulterior motive. They do.
Definitely.
Because they probably want to break up that home with the woman and the man, and woman vice versa too. They leave themselves fearlessly and get pregnant just to mess up that home where they see that, look, it's a good man, so I want to get pregnant for him too, because he will take care of me and he will take care of me and the child, and I can get him away from that woman. And it's all because of jealousy too. Men are jealous, women are jealous. They don't want to see anybody else living a good life, so they find themselves coming into another person's relationship just to break it up, just to mess it up, so that they don't have that good life.
And the woman, and such valid points here. And I hope that the readers are listening. And like I said, participate, drop your comments, put your 2 cents in. And I would also add to that to say some women who intentionally and deliberately give a man jacket is to try hold that man, like you say. She probably could have known that he probably have another woman too, and claim that she get pregnant. Okay, so it's one piece of mix up. So let me try to say it right so I don't confuse you guys. So a woman can also give a man, long and short, a jacket just because she want to mash up a relationship to it sound funny, but it happens. Or she want to hold the man, knowing that very well, because the man probably have some money and the man really treat her good as a gentleman and all of these things. So let me tell you, some things that happen in life, we wonder. It makes us wonder. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's true. True. It's crazy. It's crazy the things that happen. Let me tell you, when it comes to it and the whole cheating, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And then it is hard. I'm gonna touch on back on the topic of the jacket as we're on it. It's really hard because I can speak from my own experience that I was with my children's dad. We were together, and remember, I have a son and a daughter for him, and so that means he has 2 children already.
Right.
And so him going out there to get another child, it tore me apart.
Wow.
It did. So from a woman's perspective, it is really hard. And so I'm gonna take my experience and knowing that, if I went through that and I felt so hurt and I felt so distraught and I walked away from that relationship just because of that. But
Right.
Can you imagine a man, I have that experience knowing that the woman went out there and have a child and then come and give it to him? Can you imagine the experience?
Because remember, women are, like I said in this video upcoming on Wednesday, women are emotionally stronger than men. Whether we like it or not, women are emotionally stronger. And men, they can't. They weren't wired. I don't think they were wired that way. It is hard. It is difficult. It is. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's just like, some big thick capsules and you'll be like, my God, how that's gonna pass my throat? It's like, it's either you're gonna crush it up or something, but it will make people hurt people. It will make people hurt people.
Oh yeah. It is the same. And I really love how the caller touched on it, that woman can get jacket too. It is the same thing, because not because the man is not carrying the baby, he does carry the baby.
Yeah,
but in a different way. He did carry the baby.
Yes.
in a different way. It's just that he didn't carry for 9 months. He just let it off at one point.
Yes.
So it is hard, but as I said, it has to be a person with a good heart that can stand up and say, even after everything, and I hope that I live not mine, I will be able to tear that child and love that child. It is from a hard place.
It is, and I just want to say that sometimes women are very apologetic, and to me, like you said earlier, the caller before was saying that I believe that it's a responsibility, and hey, not me, ladies, but I'm just saying, I believe it is a woman's responsibility to go to the man before the man even finds out, just in case if it's a situation where the man didn't know. Like the caller earlier said, he knew that it's not his, and so it was easier for him to deal with the situation. But if it's a case where the man is in the dark and the woman genuinely knows, I think it is her responsibility to find some way to disclose it to him before someone else outside, who is non-family, period, somebody from the community who keep in and say, no, say so and so. Go to him and tell him. If it means if you get a policeman accompany you to tell him. You understand? Because I think at the end of the day, even how hurtful it is, I think he will look back at it at some point in time and say, you know what? At least she had the guts to come and sit and tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but also, man, it's such a sticky situation because, all right, look at it this way: a man taking care of a child until he's probably in his teen or whatever age, older child, right?
Mhm.
And then a woman coming to him and tell him that, look, such and such is not your child,
Yikes.
The anger and the resentment that man is probably going to build up at that moment, he probably is going to want to hurt that woman. So it's really hard for a woman to come and tell, especially if you know that that person is an angry person. It's going to be hard for that woman to come and tell him, say, look, that child is not your, it is hard because you're probably going to fear her life too. So it all depends. It's a case by case. It all depends on the person that you're dealing with.
Yes.
And their what you would call it, their behaviors,
Yes,
so
their mannerism, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that the woman would have known long before the teens.
Well, that's what the caller was saying earlier.
Yeah, long before the teens that the child would, because as he was saying, if the child father have a bent foot and he see child come the little bent foot, those are signs to tell you that the child wasn't that man's child,
Mm-hmm.
because most childs take a look of their father or their mother or whatever. You understand me?
But what about two white people coming with a black pitney or two black people coming with a Chinese pitney? Do you think it could be some way back generational genes?
Let me tell you, I would have to trace that down to the nitty-gritty.
To my experience growing up, I had a sister who looked like Indian. Her hair catch her way down to her butt. And when I saw my sister, I said, this child is not my father. When I get my long hair, he said, look. And, for me growing up, then I realized when I saw my grandma, then I said, okay, well, I was misjudging at that time because when I see my grandma tall hair like that, so my mom said to me, and I said to her, I said, yeah, he's coming from my side of the family.
Yeah.
So that's where she get it from. So, I mean, looks too can fool you at that point too, to say, well, it can be a jacket too.
Yeah.
But
we're all related. That's what I believe. That
one blood. You could have come from Reba. Or you come from Jungle.
Possibility, but guess what? We have to trace it. I would have to trace that down and see what's going on, to believe that. But it's possible.
My God. Well, you know what? I mean, I know when we have conversations like this, it can go on and on and on, but we want to keep it spicy and we want the realists them to keep coming. And if there's any topics that you guys want to generate for us to generate and talk about, look here, we're family over here, we're big people over here, we're mature people over here. Feel free to say, number one sensible specialist, but go talk about this because I have something right down for talk about to see some whole of different topics. And it's mostly, it's all about lifestyle, relationships, about God, humor, real things. Like, for example, if you live with your husband, like we have a marriage couple here, you ever put in front of your husband, all them look at something there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, real stuff. Sometimes we're gonna keep it humorous where, yeah, we free up and, lighten up ourselves. We're gonna talk about stuff like this because me not gonna tell lie. When it comes to that, me never touch in front of a man yet and them never see me do yet. No, sir. Me come like post. But yes, but anyways, this topic I really loved it, and we can have part 2, 3s, you name it, if you want to continue. But we want to, I'm so happy that, as the caller stated earlier, we can come on this platform and speak about these things, and we can talk about it in a mature way. We're not here to pass any judgment. We're not here to speak ill of anyone, neither in the comments or anything like that. We keep it respectable, and we deal with the topic at hand. You understand what I'm saying? And so before we close, I appreciate everyone who called in, but we're going to talk about some prevention. Prevention is better than cure, because it don't make sense we talk about a problem and we don't come with some solutions. Fair enough?
Yeah.
So me first going to say that to prevent some of this is that if it's a case where you jump out of one relationship and jump into the next, I would say period, which is a topic by itself, can be before you jump out of one relationship and jump into the next, give yourself some time, because sometimes depending on how that previous relationship ended, you may need time to heal, to recover and come again, so that you can become whole, and you don't have to use another man or another woman to soothe that wound, because that's not going to ever get anywhere. And some people do that. That's another topic again. Like I said, I have so many topics that we want to talk about, because sometimes women and men, they try to use another person to get over that past relationship, and that is not going to solve the situation. So if you know that you just come out of a relationship, it's okay to be alone. Alone does not mean lonely. Singleness does not mean that you are, means that you should be sad. No, sometimes it's better to be single, because it gives you the room to be free. You understand what I'm saying? You do whatever you want to do without giving any account to anybody. But at the same time, we have to be responsible people. We have to be responsible. Now, if it's a situation when it comes to cheating, before you cheat, sit and communicate with your partner. Communication is key. Before love, I think respect, communication, they tie at number one. Communication. I know some men then can't take women who talk a lot. Them say she miserable, but before you label that woman as being miserable, listen to her vent. You may get or learn something from what she has to say. Okay, so communicate with your partner and say, look, honey, when I like how you do this now, or you know do this now. Let's talk about first of all, before you even get involved with someone, you should talk about your likes and your dislikes. But let's say it happens. It takes time to know someone. You don't know someone all for years. You can still be getting to know someone. Yeah. And instead of pretending, pretense is another thing. We need to stop pretending. Stop pretending. So go to your partner, speak to your partner, let them know what's going on before you step out. Because if you realize that it's something that communication is not helping, you go to counseling or get a therapist and it's not working, you pray about it and it's not working, then I think it probably is a signal to say it's time for you to go your separate ways. And a lot of people would say that, oh, divorce is not right. But at the same time, sometimes we have to separate and sever ties and keep it moving. You understand? So those are my prevention. I don't know, caller or any realist who's listening have any input on prevention of, alleviating bringing a jacket or a child into this world who doesn't have a father.
All right. I would say also it should boils down to self-respect, character, and dignity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a woman has self-respect, character, and dignity, she would be honest enough to say to that man, look, there's a possibility that this child may not be yours. Can we do a DNA?
But what about the prevention, though? The prevention.
Okay, prevention. So I think what we as women should do is stop cheating. That's the whole point. Stop the cheating. We just need to stop cheat. And I love the fact that you also share about take the time. If you are in a relationship that has gone bitter, take that time and assess yourself and take some time off until you go into another relationship. And so it for me it's all about cheating. If we stop the cheating, this will not happen.
No,
it will not happen.
And
if you do cheat, there is ways to how to do it. Protect yourself. I'm not encouraging cheating.
Right.
So don't think that I am encouraging it, but men, but how can you be in a relationship and you're gonna cheat and not protect yourself or stuff like that? And point blank, stop cheat. That's the whole.
Well, I would say, if also one of the things, if you're gonna get involved with someone, there's so many things that nowadays I'm learning that I have on my checklist. Find out if the man can have pitney. Find out if the woman can have pitney, because then you don't want any problem in the relationship for it to lead to cheating. So that's another tip I wanted to add in. Okay, find out these things. Date, and do not misinterpret date for sex, because a lot of us get it incorrect, where we think that, oh, from your date a man or a woman, they're supposed to have sex. No, dating is getting to know the person and not ask no fool question. When you're having conversation, you will know whether this is a man for you or you will know whether this is the woman for you. And people need to stop. I don't really wanna steer too much off the topic, because when we talk, there's so many different topics that we can get out of this one conversation tonight. But I'm just saying, take time out to know the person. Find out if the man can have pitney. Find out if the woman can have pitney, and discuss it. Okay, if you can't have pitney, I really love you, and I really love you. Both parties love each other. Let's talk about how we're gonna deal with the child part of it. Are we just gonna live without children? Or are we gonna get a surrogate? Are we gonna have someone come in and swing and get a child for us? Whatever. So these are very important things to discuss in any relationship, and relationships should be meaningful.
Yes, and so in one package, you're
trouble
saying,
on top of trouble. Hold on, the caller, hold on. So because me now I'm a realist, them think I'm forgetting them. So I have to read some of these comments. So sorry, one second, caller. So a realist is saying a lot of men just don't know how to respect their wife, and a lot of women don't know how to respect their relationship. Don't blame the matey. So this realist is saying don't blame the matey, and I'm sure she not take up for the matey, but I would say the same thing too, because a lot of times when the wife or the husband blaming the matey, a lot of times the matey not have nothing to do with it, really and truly, even though it takes two to tango. But I agree with you, realist. Trouble on top of trouble. Go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry. I had to just juke that one in.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, so what I'm saying, the bottom line is laying a proper foundation from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So once you decide to get in a relationship, we lay a proper foundation. Put your cards on the table, both of you.
Be honest.
And be honest, be open. I mean, talk about where you're coming from, what your experience are, and I think that will help the relationship to be more meaningful and have more substance.
Yes.
And it have more respect for each other, because she's coming out of a hurt relationship. You're coming out of something hurtful too. And by sharing your experience and what you've been through, it also helped you, both of you, to heal at that point. And then you take it from there. You're going into a relationship. Do you want kids? And all of that's going to come on the table by doing that.
Yes.
If you don't take time out to do that and just want to get the sex part going, that's all the relationship is going to be about.
Right.
And then when 2-3 months down the line, you want to change, you want to try something else new, because you get used to it and so on. So it was all about the sex. But if you're going into a long-term thing and you want to lay something or do it that way, but it's just about sex, say it from the beginning. Don't get into it. And then when you get into it, you hurt the person and you don't care, because guess what? I'm a man, I'm just going to move on to the next person.
Yeah.
So you got to put yourself into the position that the woman is somebody just like you as the man. The only difference is that she is the woman, opposite sex of you. But blood runs through each and every one of us being just the same.
Yes.
You understand? So we have to come to that point, and that's the only way, and that's one of the way I look at it, to save teaching our children coming into this world that you didn't plan for. Because if you don't make preparation for it, then you as a man can plant the seed and then walk away and leave the woman to suffer. But she might want to finish college, but because she get pregnant, she can't do it, and then you walk away left for one to take care of the child, and that's not what you want. But it end up that it come and you are trying to tell her, so listen, dash away. She said, "No, I'm a first child or whatever."
But remember though, if it's a jacket though, I understand where you're coming. But with the jacket, remember that another man is gonna get her pregnant, or the man is gonna go out there. Well, I think I get what you're saying, because if it's a man case where he goes out there and get the woman pregnant, then he probably wants her to abort it, or just not wanting to be accountable and responsible, not remembering.
It will affect his relationship. Probably he's married, and he doesn't want it to affect his relationship.
Yes.
So the only way to hide it is to get rid of it.
Yes. Well, there are some other things I wanted to drop, because you did mention something about the church, Carla. And I think that leaders, pastors, bishops, head of churches, they should teach, just like they have Bible study, they should have a night, like a Friday night, depending on one night that they don't have Bible study or anything during the week or whatever day of the week, and have sessions where the members come in and they teach, talk about these things, probably demonstrate scriptures with them as well, and also have specialists like therapists, counselors, people like that come in, and also who are more experts, because they go in depth in learning these things and observing behaviors and analyzing these things. And so they could have these people step in and come in and edify the mass as well. And those pastors who are leaders need to lead by example and stop messing and meddling outside of their own marriages and getting these other women pregnant. And these women too must walk away and expose these pastors. You understand? And the last thing I want to say, parents also need to teach. We need to teach our children these things as well, and stop telling children that they were born when mother gonna market and cow jump over the moon and all of these things. These things, I think some people would say, oh, you don't need to teach your children about sex. Well, guess what? If you don't teach them now, they are going to know it outside or somewhere, especially these ones who have phones.
That was when we were grown. They hide it from us. It's on the television. It's on the
Good night, Sharon. Good night, Realist. Welcome. You're coming in when the conversation is almost done, but enjoy and feel free to give your 2 cents. Go ahead, Carla. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying it was like when we were growing, they would tell us that, but no, you can't tell these kids that. It's on the billboard. It's on the movie. It's on the street. Sex is all over, right, and all over the walls.
Right.
You're right, like what you said. We need to start teach it from the home and teach it from the church, right?
Yes.
And that's what, lack of knowledge, because they weren't taught of how to deal with situations like these. If it is teach from the church perspective and from the home, I believe we can see the difference in relationships.
Big difference.
And big difference.
Even though everybody's not going to digest or take it, but it will make an impact.
Yeah, but I mean, how it's going to make the impact? You're going to teach it just like you're teaching the Word of God.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm. Be real. They need to be real.
Be real, yeah. Be real. And teach it just like the Word of God, and tell them how important it is. Because if you're not getting it at the church and you're not getting it at home, then where are you going to look for it?
Right. And like you said, a lot of times even the husband might step out, and we're not beating the men, but we're using them as the leaders, as examples. Like you mentioned in your conversation earlier, that men might say, you know, certain things not happening at home, and they say the hotty church sister, and she's giving him that look and enticing him and all of that, and him step and draw closer to her. So these things we have to, you know, teach how about if you see temptation, how to deal with temptation and all these things.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes how it happens is that it is probably a meeting with the pastor, and the way the sister attire himself and going in the office. The man too. It's not intentional that he was, and then from there on things happen. You know?
Yes.
So sometimes that's what happened, cause the whole cheating leaders and all of that in the church.
Yes,
I think that's a very good topic to discuss about dress code and something in a church.
That we have that. Listen, me, I'm jotting down, so I'm adding to my list. But as a realist also stated that a man, and that is so true. They need to start a family counseling in the church. Parents, it needs to do the same thing at home, right? And then another realist, Malakia, said a man might not be able to get X woman pregnant, but he can get Y woman pregnant, and the other way around. Exactly. And then we also have, when we practice good morals, temptation won't affect us. Very great points.
Very good.
Yeah, very good point.
That it go back to the same thing I was saying. Proper foundation, and it lay properly.
Solid as a rock.
it will come out good.
Yeah.
Respect, love, reverence. Yeah. And
Yes.
once you and your partner can talk about anything. Communication. Deal with the thing as it come up. Don't make it faster and grow upon each other, on top until you can't handle it.
Yes. And you know, for the Jamaicans here, Jamaica is classified as the capital, the jacket capital of the world. So women, listen, let's not allow this label to stay on Jamaica. Let's start to do better, because, and you know, it happened all across the world. But as most of you know, I am Jamaican.
In Jamaica.
Exactly. I am Jamaican. And so, of course, I'm going to target them as well. And the fact that I was reading the article in the Observer, it you know, I had to highlight that. You understand? So, you know, sometimes there, you know, would you say, this is just a pop question? I mean, we said that we're going to wrap up, and here we go again. But would you say that sometimes giving a man jacket is justified?
It's never justified. It's wrong. It's wrong, but it do happen. It's wrong. Man.
Wow. And you know, women have to be careful, especially men too, because women are violent. You have violent women and you have men who are violent. So like we discussed earlier, if you're planning on disclosing that you either get a woman out there pregnant or you got pregnant by another man, weigh the situation, balance it. Like I said, if you have to get someone to escort you to discuss it, or you invite the party somewhere where you know you feel safe and you have, you know, security, you know, figure it out. But we want to prevent these things from happening, and that's why we're talking about the prevention as we're about to close, so that we can alleviate this problem. However, 1 and 2 still gonna pass through, and if they do, you can take some advice from these callers who definitely, and I'm happy that we were able to have a male and female who actually experienced jacket. And just in case if you were either misinformed or didn't have any clue or idea, that women can also get jacket, not only men. So I'm sure somebody learned something tonight, or will learn something if you're not on this live and you're passing through and you stumble on it. You will learn that not only men get jacket, but women can get jacket too. And we explain how that can happen. And most times it's caused by cheating. So people, please stop cheating. If you think that you have to cheat, make up your mind. Discuss it with your partner, and if it can't work, just keep it moving, or you just keep yourself to yourself. Abstain, and you'll stay out of trouble. You understand? So, anything else before we close tonight, Carla? I mean, we're gonna wrap up now. We've been on here quite a while, but like I said, these conversations, they never want to end. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about.
I think people are just ignorant to things that they're so ignorant because they said lack of knowledge and people perish. But I believe that if we're educated on these stuff, it will help to minimize these type of problems that we do face. You know,
right?
Education too can be a great part or impact on this once you get educated.
Most definitely. Like and when you use certain things, like not to scare people, but you show them how people died violently because of this, you know, they will think twice. You know, because like I said, sometimes you have to use real life situations for people to really get what you're trying to pass on to them. And we have to have an open mind as well. Sometimes we have to have a soft heart, and forgiveness. Forgiveness is also key. So other than communication, forgiveness is really key, because if you're in that situation, you know, you're a mother who have to pass on the information to your child, because sometimes it's not all the times that it's going to be a partner to partner information being passed. It can be a situation where it's a parent to child having to pass on that information to the child to let them know that, hey, this man is not. Most times it's the case where the man is not your father, because definitely you're gonna know if it's a man who get a child, you definitely know, say, okay, that's not your mother. You understand what I'm saying? So most times the mother will have to tell the child that, hey, this is not, or you know, there's a possibility that this man is not your father. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and it's a lot of thinking, but let's think before we act in the first place. Would we all agree on that?
Definitely.
All right, guys, you know, tonight is our first live session, and so far everybody's liking it. Please make sure that if you've not yet hit the subscribe button, that red button, and it spells SUBSCRIBE. And not only that, because you can hit the subscribe button, but you'll get left when the videos are being uploaded or when we go live. So it is important that you smack that bell and make sure you hit the all, so that once there is a video that comes out, whether it's live or uploaded, you get that ping, that notification that, hey, something is going on over here. And please invite others. Every Saturday night, we will try our best. My exam, them don't know, because we were supposed to start from the 4th of December. But let me tell you, girl, she got so many things doing. Oh my God, she wears so many hats. But hey, we're happy that we did get it happen tonight. And I really like the turnout. And we're family here. You're my realist. And anything, if an idea comes to you, throw it over here. But we're always gonna have a topic to talk about, a real topic, a real life situation, real issue. And you know, we're not leaving out the humor out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So I am happy that you joined tonight. You could have been elsewhere, but you took the time out to be with us, with me here tonight. I am very grateful. So please make sure that you share this live and let others know, because if we don't do that, YouTube is not going to send out the notification out there. So we have to break their analytics, let them know that push this out, shove this out. This is important. We don't have the time for drama. We have time to uplift and inspire. You understand what I'm saying? And to better ourselves and to edify ourselves, because education is key. Knowledge is power. Want to say? Agree? All right, so I'm gonna close out tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. Please make sure, again, I'm asking you, invite, share if you care. Care makes one stronger. Sharing is caring. Okay, somebody else needs to hear. And you don't know, Mr. Vegas did have said this. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and I have a song, new release by an upcoming artist, Jati. You know, we get it, and we're gonna push it out there too. So we're doing everything over here. All right. So
small ears that my topic. Gotta pick me there. Not even as much as my fingertip. Some girl really a tell them well Cause she and the that man can down the street. But from your you say no man can call you czar. And no man can trick you in a backyard. No, if your man no know I come from far.
All right, so Mr. Vegas and now Jetty.
I'm talking daily. It's on my mind, this is just crazy. I've been feeling passionate lately. Just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I have to stand the seats to motivate me. Please press this for right music where elevate me. Let's work as one and encourage each other daily. Love the courage beats and I take them down to melodic words of inspiration where I feel the youth to prosper. You can feel things aren't working out. Be certain to the ego and assured that. Just in the faith till I start all back. Till I start tell yourself that this is where the road stops. NASA, just give the blast and max no feels and NASA. Would that tell no difference? Go within and rise, you got to this.
So let me pause this. So Sharon, I had to comment on that. She said, every children have the right to connect to their lineage. When a mother gives a child to the man that is not the father, she is robbing the child of their true lineage. That's right.
You surface and realize man a creator, and this I just see better days. Me nah go stop play these tracks till me start to better days. Lately, just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I have to stand the seats to motivate me. Please press this for right music where elevate me. Let's work as one and encourage each other daily. Music can make it away. Love the music express myself when me feel away. Me have me playlist when me go to when no one for reminisce. Me need to tune life out to all it bizarre. Life never always sweet like a gizzard.
All right, realist. Another one says we have to stop telling our kids about don't keep your eggs in one basket, especially your boy child.
Nevertheless, me good books and
very valuable point. Very, very, very valuable point. Lisette, thank you. You heard? Realist. Let's start the show chat board. What you said? That must say.
Me make it this far sincerely. Life could have take a turn. Good fortune screaming passionate lately. Just loving music as much as I love ladies. Oh, I have to stand my seats from out.
In the meantime, let me know what you'd like me to talk about next Saturday. I mean, I've got topics lined up, but I want you to also feel, you know, that you have a say in this. So throw the topics them, throw them out while you listen to Jetty, brand new.
Motivate me, please press this for right music where elevate me. Let's work as one and encourage each other daily.
Okay, guys, so that's Jetty. You know, we're gonna play it every week. We come on here trying to support the man, young artists. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we have to make sure, say, we big up we own artists, especially when they got clean, good music. So one way say a child of God listen to that, it's clean music. We can listen to it. You understand what I'm saying? So don't judge. Let's just elevate and just promote the thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, roll up, pull up on the new chill spot, Saturday Night Live with your number one sensible specialist. Chat about, and that's it, say. What you say? Meet her up there, live with Royal Cleopatra. She'll chat about a whole of things. Yeah, health, wealth, lifestyle. Yeah, man. She'll put you a little sense of humor in it and talk about the Almighty God. Meet her up there, Royal Cleopatra, Saturday Night Live. Come. Jane, June, and Sharon, them say that them love it. That's what they say, yeah. Saturday Night Live, Royal Cleopatra.
Roll out. Up. You understand? Thank you so much, Lisette. Bless you all. God bless you all. I hope you have a great morning. It's morning time. See you same place, same time next Saturday. As long as life and breath is blowing, you understand? We're going to come right here. Come prepared. I love the vibes tonight. Let's keep it vibesy and nice. You understand what I'm saying? Come in. Come with an open mind, open heart to learn and to share. And let's do this as a family. You're all my realists. Boom. Catch you next Saturday.